tell everyone that it gets better, and if one thing that I learned from anything is that, and I just want to say God bless everyone. Thank you.
My name is Mrs. Lisney, and some of us who are newer to Red Mountain, we wish that a lot of people would have got the chance to know him, because in a big school you don't really get to know a lot of people, and I hope your family knows that some of us are really trying to make a difference at that school, and it really did affect a lot of kids who don't want the kids to feel alone, and we really, in his memory, want to try to make a difference. And like she said, a little act of kindness will go a long way, so we hope that a lot of us can make a change, and this opened a lot of kids at Red Mountain's eyes, and I hope you know even some kids who aren't here, it really did affect them. And God bless your family, and I hope that you guys get the strength that you need to go on.
My name is Jamie. I've known Brandon for the past 2 years from German. The first time I met Brandon, he just immediately started making me laugh. That's the best memory I have of him. And like, I forget your name, but Mrs. Swanson, I think, his smile was the best thing I can remember on him, because he had one of those smiles that just made everybody light up when he walked into the room. My friend last week showed me a poem that I really took into heart, and I think it really stands true when you're talking about it. My friend Ashley here is going to help me read it, because I don't think I can finish it. But it says, "Dear Brandon Campbell, I think of you often and make no outward show, but what it meant to lose you, no one will ever know. You wish no one farewell, not even say goodbye. You were gone before I knew it, and only God knows why. You are not forgotten, nor will you ever be. As long as life and memories last, I will remember thee. To some you may be forgotten, to others a part of the past, but to me who loved you dearly, your memories will always last."
Nothing can be more beautiful than the memories I have of you. To me, you were someone special. God must have thought so too. If tears could build a staircase and memories a lane, I would walk all the way to heaven and bring you back again.
Hi, my name is Chandra Staker. I'm from Las Vegas. I met Brandon at Team Leadership Breakthrough 1. When I got there, nobody I knew wanted to be there. We were all bitter, our parents made us go. And Brandon was so excited. And I was like, oh, maybe this won't be so bad. And we were on the bus right there, and we're all sitting there, nobody's talking to each other. And he stands up and he's like, "Hi, I'm Brandon." And the biggest smile on his face. And I just knew, right then and there, this is gonna be a moment in my life I remember forever. Brandon, I was going through a really hard time in my life, and I didn't think I would ever be able to recover from it. And believe it or not, Brandon, out of all people in the world, was someone who shone a light in my life when all I saw was darkness. And he was just a real great guy. He's so bubbly and someone I'm gonna remember forever, and always remember his smile. When I was leaving leadership camp, I was walking to my car and saying bye to everybody. I already said bye to everyone about 5 times, and Brandon came and ran out to me, and he gave me the biggest hug ever, and he told me, "Chandra, life's tough, so you gotta be tougher." And he's like, "I know you're gonna be good, you're gonna be big one day, life's gonna turn out for you." And whenever I'm feeling down, ever since then, that's something I always think of. I always think of Brandon Campbell for touching my life. And I just want to wish you guys that everything will be okay. That life just goes up, Thank you.
My name is Emily. I met Brandon in college prep chemistry, which just shows his brilliance just that much more. He got me to join speech and debate because they had one more tournament at Mountain View, which was very big because Red Mountain is rivals with Mountain View. And we entered in the speech part for dual acting. And he decided that we were going to do Monty Python because that was one of his favorite movies. And I remember he was so excited to play the Black Knight. He had his swords, and he got so into it when we were doing it and actually performing it that he hit my hand and broke my knuckle. So I can't even bend it all the way. And it's just a piece that I can remember him by. And I wish that everyone else can have something to remember him by too. No matter how small. Thank you.
I'm Alyssa Clark, and I knew Brandon since 8th grade. And just to reiterate what everybody else was saying, I think Brandon taught us unconditional love. You know, he cared about everybody, and I feel like sometimes we take that for granted and we don't appreciate the love that we're shown by sometimes even strangers. And we can all take away this great lesson that we can all give just as much love back, and that we should appreciate the love that we get. Thank you for this lesson, Brandon.
My name is Amanda Nobilia, and I met him here at Vista Prep in 7th grade. I remember being in this very room with him in music class, and we'd always leave and go into the nursing room because the teacher never paid attention. And he'd always be pacing back and forth and talking to himself, scared that he would get in trouble. I always remember he'd always be leaving lunch like 10 minutes early to make sure he was the first person in class. And he'd always lend a helping hand or anything anybody needed, no matter what was going on in his life. He was always strong, and he was always smiling and always happy. And he's touched my life. And I'm sorry for those who have to deal with this loss, and I'll treasure the time I have with him for forever.
Hi, my name is Sarah Smahani. This is my sister, and this is Dylan. We went to camp this summer with Brandon. It was the second level of leadership. It was just outdoors, really fun, ropes. There was a video up there. When we first walked into the office before we were taken to our little campsite, Brandon was the only one in the room, so we walk in and he's just super bubbly. Hi, I'm Brandon, just shaking our hands nice and firm, and we were soon told that we would get tribal names for the duration of the course. Immediately, Brandon said, I want to be Sharkbait, ooh-ha-ha, from Nemo. That was our inside joke throughout the entire course. The last night, we were sitting around a campfire. We did an exercise where we imagined where we would be in a year. And everybody's was just how they themselves would grow and how they would be new people. Brandon's was a little bit different. His was the day that we would all reunite. And that just really meant a lot, that he was really incorporating us in his future, and that he loved us so much just to, I guess, not just picture himself and be selfish about his future, but put us all in there and just give us all hope that we would stay in touch and be better people. And he just pushed us so much throughout that course, and he was just our guidance and our light and our strength, and he will be remembered forever.
Hi, my name is Jack. On behalf of the Burnside family, we wish our condolences to the Campbells. I met Brandon about 5 years ago when he showed up at Mason Prep to come over and play video games. And this kid was smoking my kid. I mean, we're not talking just a little bit. And I thought, wow, you know, this kid seems pretty coordinated. I wondered how he was academically, and after he left, I asked Addison, I said, what about this Brandon, you know? And come to find out, he was at the top of his class everywhere. So Initial misconceptions can be something I think we all should watch out for. I know two of Brandon's closest friends, Alex and Addison, are here, and it really has affected him profoundly. It did all of us. So I think if they wanted to say something to you guys, I can barely get through it, so I'm trying to speak for them. That take that time if you do see somebody that maybe could use some uplifting, some happiness. Or if you're a student who's going through some things, take those people, no matter how close you think they are to you or not to you, and speak to them. Thank you.
My name is Christian Wangi, and I met Brandon at Mesa Prep. And the first day at Mesa Prep, I met CJ, and a week or two later, I saw Brandon, and he was around. He was standing around, but nobody was around him. So I took the time and walked up to him and met him and made friends with him, and I saw myself in him, not really being around people and not really having that many friends, and my heart goes out to his family.
Hi, I'm Matthew Harris. I lived across from Brandon ever since we were kids. He was probably my first friend, and I will remember him all my life because he was always there for me. Even when I wasn't the best friend to him, he was the best friend to me. He was a piece of my life, and now that piece is going to be missing forever. But I will remember him, and I think everyone else here will too, for all those great qualities that make Brandon. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Bailey Miguel, and I remember in second grade, I was so shy. I'm still pretty shy, so if I stumble a lot, sorry. But he was one of the guys that would talk to me a lot, and we were in alphabetical ordering. Always when we go to somewhere, I was B, he was C, so we would talk a lot. And he was just one of my great friends in second grade, and he's always been a great friend to me. And I really do miss him. And I hope the best for his family.
Steele and Sherry, my kids, of course, didn't get to be here. We live next door to the Harrises and also across from the Campbells. And there were 6 families, I think. There was something in the water up there because we all moved in and started having babies. And the oldest of the baby brigade was Brandon. And McKenna was Taylor, Matthew, pretty close on the heels there. And so, on their behalf, I just want to share a couple of the things that we've talked about. They're not able to be here, but we've talked a lot about what they remember. And for the boys, my goodness, it's everything from sleeping in the boat to doing those electric cars to ATVs. But the one that I remember most that had a little bit different side of Brandon, I think that both sides is Brandon. My kids always thought Brandon was, the cat's meow. They were always learning something from him. And Brandon had Yu-Gi-Oh cards, and our kids finally got Yu-Gi-Oh cards. And Brandon said, "I will teach you to play Yu-Gi-Oh." Sherry, you remember what happened? He took every single one of those cards from my innocent boys. And I think Sherry found out about it. So you give those back, you better give them some good ones too. And then for McKenna, Steele, I shared this one with you, but it's such a beautiful memory. We come back from one of our walks, and even the dads would join us sometimes, and somehow we ended up in her basement. I think it was just our 2 families at that point. Other people had gone in. And Brandon put some music on it. I think he was only 3 years old. And he started doing, he was dancing like crazy. And my 2-year-old daughter turned to me with this sparkle in her eyes, and she says, "Daddy, isn't he cool?" And he was. We're sharing stories of love, and I know you've got a lot more stories. That's part of the reason we're hoping that following the time that we get to spend together here, you'll gather with us next door. And then even beyond that, the families have been gracious enough to set up a site where we can share our stories, and we need to keep reminding each other of the things that we've learned in this, and also keep encouraging one another about the joy that Brandon and the love that Brandon brought into our lives.
You know, philosophers throughout the ages have debated on what is the meaning of life. Monty Python even made a movie about that. I can tell you in one word, it's love. Don't walk out of here today without reaching out in love to a stranger, to your family, to your friends. I'd like to invite you to join with me responsibly, that you will read the words in bold. But God has given us a definition of love. Love is patient, love is kind. It is not jealous or boastful or arrogant or rude. Love does not demand its own way. It is not irritable, and it keeps no record of when it has wrong. Love is never glad about injustice, but rejoices whenever the truth wins out. Love bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things. Love never ends.
As a neighbor of the Campbells and a parent of a student at Red Mountain High School and a pastor of the church at ASU, I'd like to read from the Word and share a couple thoughts. In Romans 8, verse 18, it says, I consider that the sufferings of this present time